Welcome back. In this lecture, you're going to be learning about a super important feature called Advantage Campaign Budget. It's this feature at the very bottom right here. Now, what it does is that if you activate it simply by clicking here, it allows you to set a budget that you allow Facebook to distribute automatically across your different ad sets, focusing on the most profitable ad sets and ad creatives. Now, this is pretty amazing. When you create an ad set, you're going to have different looks. The ad creative is the design, the actual ad itself that potential customers are going to see on Facebook. You're going to have a lot of different ads and you're going to have just a few different ad sets, but some ads are going to perform better than others. When you activate Advantage Campaign Budget, what you're doing is that you're telling Facebook, I want you to put the majority of my budget into the ads that are actually working. This is absolutely amazing because this used to be something that we needed to keep an eye on and do manually. But now when you have something that clearly works, so let's say that you're trying to get more sales, which is reasonable, the ads that are getting the most sales are going to be getting the most of your budget automatically. Using features like this where we are leveraging Facebook's algorithm, this is how we use the smartest type of technology using Facebook's trillions of data points across billions of people in order to optimize our ads and optimize our results. So let's go through how this works more precisely. If we go down, we have a couple of different options. We have daily budget and we have a lifetime budget. A daily budget allows you to spend a certain amount of money every day. However, this isn't a set sum. Now, if there is going to be a particularly bad day, Facebook is going to spend less. And if they think you have a bad ad, they're not going to spend any money at all, by the way. But if you have a particularly good day, they're actually going to be spending a little bit more. So if I set this budget to $10, what's going to happen is that the absolute maximum that you're going to be spending in a week, it's going to be $70. So they're not actually calculated based on per day, they're calculated based on per week. And this is important to know. So some days they might spend $0 or $5, and some days they might spend $15 or more dollars. And that's all going to depend on where they see an opportunity. However, they're never going to spend more than the sum that you write in times 7, meaning the total that you're going to end up with after 1 week. So if they spend a lot the first 3 days, they're going to spend less the coming days to always even out the total that you have set here times 7 for 1 week. So always for a calendar week. So that's the daily budget. You optimize per day, but the actual optimization is the total per week. Now, the other one is lifetime budget. Now, you might set a lifetime budget for, let's say, $500. The problem with that is that if Facebook sees an opportunity, it's going to spend all of your budget right away. And that's going to be a bit of a pity because that's not really going to allow you to optimize the algorithm over time, because the more you use the so-called metapixel, which we're going to talk more about later, the smarter the algorithm is going to get and the better results you're going to get. So what you're going to want to do, and I strongly recommend, is that you don't take this risk where you might blow your entire big budget in just a day or two or maybe a week. What you do instead is that you even it out with a daily budget. This is going to be a lot smarter. So naturally, your question is, how much should your daily budget be? Well, the primary idea here is that it needs to be a sum that you can afford to lose. That's going to be very important because ads take a little while to work up towards, and you can't expect a profit from the very get-go. You have to understand that ads get smarter and smarter the more you run them, but you're gonna have to run them and experiment a bit. So only set a sum that you can lose. For a minimum budget, I recommend 5. For most people with a decent budget, I recommend starting at 10. Don't go too crazy here. If you have a larger budget, you can go ahead and set 20, but I recommend that you at least start off with 10. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna set this to $10 per day. And then scrolling down, now it says bid strategy options have been changed. We have renamed our bid strategy options. And I know they have, and they keep doing these updates. So if you're going through this course and you notice that this Advantage Campaign Budget is actually higher up, don't worry about it, because I've seen many iterations of this interface already. And we've been updating this course for many years. This doesn't mean that it's outdated. It just means that they changed their interface all the time. So then there is the campaign bid strategy, meaning what is it that we want to bid for? Now we have a couple of options if we click on edit over here. We could bid for the highest volume, meaning we want to get the most results for our budget, getting as much sales as possible for our budget. We can also have cost per result goal, which could be handy if you, for example, know that one lead for you is worth $8. So then you don't want to spend any more than $8. So you can have a cost per result goal of a maximum of $8. So maybe even put it a little lower so you can actually be profitable with your ads, but a maximum of 8. Then you can have a return on ad spend so that you know that you need to have a certain return to be profitable. And then you can also have a cap. You're not willing to pay more than a certain amount of cents or a certain amount of dollars for a specific goal. Now, what I strongly recommend for all of you, and that I personally also always use, is going to be highest volume. Again, we want to leverage the smartness of the Facebook algorithm. They have trillions of data points on billions of people. They are going to be smarter than we are. If we tell the algorithm to optimize for getting the most sales for the budget we're setting, then that is what the algorithm is going to focus on, and that is what we want, right? We want as much results as possible for the budget that we have set. So we're going to go ahead and set highest volume here. And once again, they're renaming this. I believe I've seen an iteration called maximize results was one of these. So it might go under different name, but highest volume, maximum results, etc. This is what we want to aim for, as much results as possible for our budget. And then scrolling down, we also have show more options, and this is for ad scheduling. Now we're not able to do that or change that, as you can see, because ad scheduling is only going to be available for a lifetime budget, meaning you can show your ads on a specific day, time of day, or at night, etc., where you know that the cost might be lower at night because there might be less advertisers, etc. But this is just completely unnecessary complications. This isn't where you move the needle and get the actual long-term results. This is just minors. So we're not going to stress about this at all. We're going to have it run all the time. We're going to start at $10, and we're going to make sure that we activate Advantage Campaign Budget, because with the 3-2-2 strategy that we're using, we are going to make sure that we create a winner ad set where we'll put all of our winner ads and then some tests. And as we manage to find some winners and scale our budget, we're going to talk more about scaling later. As we scale it, we're going to be able to do better and better tests and increase our profits more and more. But to do this as effectively as possible and spending as little time here as possible, we need to use the Advantage Campaign Budget so that Facebook can put the money where the results are. We always focus on doing what works. Awesome. Once you've set this up, we're going to scroll down and then click on next. Well done, we've already set up our campaign. Now we're going to start moving down to our actual targeting, which is at the ad set level. So I hope you're excited. I'll see you in the next lecture.